Hey guys, my name is Sylvia with Celestial Roofing, and this is Celestial Woman. We are here with Saba recording our second episode. And there's just something powerful about a woman who chooses growth over comfort.
Yeah.
Saba moved across the country to pursue a dream of hers, leaving family behind, and in the process of becoming, you did also meet who is now your fiance.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to hear a little bit more about
Yeah.
that too. So this episode isn't just about becoming a business owner, but it's about obedience, courage, reinvention, and what can happen when you trust God.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
So my name is Sabatini, but most people call me Saba or the boss lady. I am originally from Tampa, Florida, but I moved to Dallas on a whim because I decided that I wanted to live in a bigger city. And I have just always been someone who is, I would challenge myself to do things like, I know you can do this. I'm going to put a big challenge in front of myself to do it. And moving was like, I want to see if you will push yourself to do that. And I did. And that's what got me here to Dallas. And, it's been quite the journey, but I am much better because I am in Dallas. Yeah. The Lord has really done a work since being in Dallas. And I feel like I made the absolute right decision. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a little background. This is only the second time me and her meet. We actually met for the first time at this coffee shop.
Yeah.
It was all God because I got invited by a friend and we met here. What was it called?
Yapping Work. Yeah, it was like a co-working session.
So I was just so inspired by hearing her story. I literally left so like encouraged, like
Wow.
just your story, like all about it. Like, they say you surround yourself with people that encourage you to dream bigger.
Yeah.
And I definitely felt that after
Wow.
meeting
Thank you.
So that's
Yeah.
why I really wanted to have you on this episode.
Thank you.
Podcast.
Thank you. That's amazing.
So, what initially made you move across the country?
I had started my business. It was about a year into my business. I did not have any prior business experience before starting the business, so it was quite the year. I made the most money I had ever made in a year in a job ever, in my first year. And so I was like, I built this business in the corner of my room. I was renting a room from a family friend, because I was living in Tampa. My family didn't live in Tampa. I would have to drive hours to see my family. And so in the corner of my room, I just felt like, okay, now that I've done that, I've started the business, I can expand outside of these four walls, even if that means just going to a different city and having my own space, having more than just those four walls in that room. And like I said, I was just like, I wanted to challenge myself to do something different, to do something as the first. And since starting the business, I was just like, well, I did that. And I was the first one to do that in my family. And I was like, okay, you can do this as well. You can apply that here. And so, yeah, that's what made me move across the country. I packed my car, shipped it over, and had only been to Dallas once, had only had one person here. And yeah, it came. I remember buying that one-way ticket. And I cried the whole way to Dallas. But still, I was like, girl, you've done hard things before. I know it's uncomfortable right now, but like and I tell myself that all the time now still, but that I remember that flight where I was like, we are doing it. And you're going to figure it out. Yeah. And I did. Yeah.
See, I'm already like, right now I'm smiling so much because I'm like, I can relate. Like, I started my business in my room too. So it's like hearing you like take it a step further and like pack your bags and move across the country. Yeah. It's like now I'm like, maybe I need to do that.
Yeah.
I just saw something on Instagram the other day too, that how it says you have to change your environment. Yeah. Even if you can't move across the country or move to a different city, just move to a new place or even just rearrange your room. Yeah.
I felt like I was in that space of like, it's not even a rearranging the room thing. It was like, no, you need to meet new people. You need to, and Dallas was honestly a great decision because there's so many entrepreneurs here.
Yeah.
There's so many people that I've met. There's so many people that I'm inspired by. And like Tampa was great, but I knew it all. I knew it all so well. I know it so well that it just became so familiar.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to shake it up. Because we know what shaking it up does. It brings overflow. It brings new ideas. It brings a new confidence when you shake it up. And so that was me like, let's go for something deeper. Yeah.
So you did say you cried. So it was a scary moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole decision. How did it feel like just leaving your family behind? Because you moved here by yourself?
By myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was that?
I was also in a long distance relationship with my now fiance. Now fiance.
Ooh,
I just got engaged a few weeks ago.
I love it.
But even though I'll start with him because we were dating and it was long distance and we flew back and forth to see each other a lot. But he decided to date me knowing that I was going to be leaving and going further away. And the one thing that like anchored it in for me that like, this is the guy, was I was like, do I need to move to you at some point? Or like, you do know that I plan to go to Dallas, I was just like, please don't ask me to move. Yeah. And he was like, you can go. I'll follow you. Because he knew that what I had set out in front of me, what I had started, because I was a year into the business, I was going to go for it. He was like, I could tell just from the outside that you were not playing about that goal that you set. And he was like, I could not interrupt that. I needed you to go. Yeah. Yes. And 6 months later, he came to Dallas as well and left all of his family as well. So we both knew one person when we moved here. Yeah. And so leaving my family was also really hard because my parents are there, my siblings are there, all of my friends are there. And while there was some moments where it was like, I'm really homesick, but I am not a quitter. I'm not. And I just always believed, ever since I was a little child, that like God has my back. Like God can be trusted. Yes. And like if God didn't want me to move, if God didn't want me to go, I have a good enough, not even good enough. That's my friend. He would have let me know in some way. Yeah. Yes. So true. And because I felt a fear of going, but it was more of like you're trying to talk yourself out. I know me and God are like that, I know when it's like real fear, like I'm scared versus this feeling is you're making it what's gonna stop you because you just don't want to go. You're just versus like I don't feel safe. No. Yeah. And I didn't have that, and so I was like, God is telling me to go. And so I left. I was like, and my family will be okay. Yeah, because God is with them as well. Yes. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you ever doubt yourself after arriving? Like doubt your whole decision?
Of moving? I don't think so. I don't think so because I think in my mind it was like, and if it doesn't work out, thankfully I built my business. It's remote. I can get up and I can go somewhere else. Yeah. And that is right. Actually, right now, depending on a situation with my fiance and his job, we may have to move to Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
Right. And I've been there so many times, but like if we have to do that, I don't have to have this long drawn out plan to be able to do that. We can just go. Yeah. Because my business could be ran from this if I really wanted to, but I actually run it on a laptop, but like this helps me so much because it's built, because it allows me to be everywhere. Yeah.
Yes. What was your first season here in Dallas like?
Oh, I came and then it like snowed, and then I was like, I didn't look up like the weather in Dallas. I was just like, it has to be like Florida. There's no, all my life I've heard of Texas. So I'm like, it has to be like Florida. So I get here and then it snows and I was like, what's going on? Like, what's going on? And then that summer was I think the first time I saw like hundreds for like weeks. And then I was like, oh man, I did not look up the weather before moving to this place. And then it's so windy as well. So I feel like the weather is the same all year. I don't know if and then it has one snow week every year typically. But all the other seasons I feel like we're just like all the same, and the wind, and I was just like, people need to talk about the weather here. It's so all over the place. Yes. Oh my gosh, it's like, I never heard that about Dallas, but like, I don't know why people are not talking about that. Yeah. But my first season here was the snow, and I was just, that took me back. Yeah.
It was just like, we just had that ice storm, and my friend actually went to Florida, and she FaceTimes me. She's at the beach.
Really?
In a bikini, and you're wearing like,
and we're like
layers.
You can't even leave your apartment.
Literally. Did you introduce your business? I can't remember.
No, not yet.
Okay, so let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let us know what your business is called and what is it that you do?
So, I run so let me start over. I am an agency owner and coach, and so I run Her Support System, which is my business, what I created in 2020 back in Tampa, Florida. And what it does now, it's twofold. So it's two businesses underneath the umbrella, I would say. So on one side, I run the agency, which is we support multi 6 and 7 figure business owners with running their team, their projects, and their day-to-day, typically running how the founder manages the business. And then on the other side, I have the coaching side, where I'm coaching women to figure out what their skill is that they're currently using at their job, in their life, or the experience that they have, and they want to turn that into a profitable side business or side hustle. That's what we do through In Demand, which is the virtual assistant program. So I've been running technically In Demand, the program, since 2020, and the agency I've been doing out loud. I've had it for 4 years, but out loud, we've been doing it for 2.5 years. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, were you MBA yourself in the past?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you get into that?
So I was a full-time server at a restaurant. So I worked in hospitality, food and beverage. I used to bartend a little bit. Yeah. And so I did that for 10 years before starting the business. And wow, it was, I remember serving all the time, and I loved serving. Like I didn't hate it, but I was like, I know there's more, you know. I worked full time. I went in at 3, I got off at 12 or 1, you know, and then I went to school, and I was getting my master's degree. And I was just like, I see people like, they have like something that they do on the side, or like I see, like I had coworkers that would come and they would like go to certain events after work. And so I was traveling quite a bit as well, just as leisure. And I was like, low-key a travel blogger. I had a travel blog. Nice. And so I also did travel blogging through all the countries that I was going to, and I also did food blogging for Tampa, Florida. Right? And so I was doing that as I was serving. And then because of that, I was like, there has to be more. Like, what if I could do more of this?
Yeah.
There was even events that would happen at my job that I would get to attend as the blogger. And so coming to work in that building, or coming to an event happening in that building, just was like, we could be on this side of it. Yeah. And so I was like, just scrolling online, and I'm like, I don't know, like I can't figure it out. Like 6 months later, the world shuts down in March, and a friend of mine was scrolling Facebook, and she saw an ad, and she was like, oh my gosh, it was like another course or program of like how to become a virtual assistant. And she like goes on a rabbit hole, and she texts it to me, and she's like, you need to do this. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, I need to understand.
Yeah.
And so she's like, you do all these things, like you're organized, you like, you take pictures, you do this. She was just like blurting it, you know, like hyping me up. And she's one of those friends that's like, you could do it. I know you could do it.
Yeah.
Do it with me. It's more of like I really want to do it. Yeah. Like, let me. But if I tell you you're great at it, you're gonna do it. Yeah. So we were like, we're gonna do it. It was last day. My now fiance. I was like, hey, like I have this like this is opportunity, whatever. And he's like, I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like, we got laid off. So as soon as the world shut down, I got laid off, and we had no clue when we were coming back. So that gave me the time that I kept saying that I didn't have when I was a server. And so she, you know, was like, let's do this. We did it. I put it on a gift card. I had a $500 gift card from my job. And I put it on there. I put the program on there. It was an online course, and I started learning and realizing that, oh my gosh, I have so much skills that I could offer to somebody else. And then as I started to go through the program, I realized that I felt like it wasn't as helpful as I thought as I got deeper and deeper. And so I was like, okay, I need to sit in the work and, you know, start figuring out what I want to be known for and things like that. And I found a different program, a different coach, and I started working with her. And that's how I got into wanting to become a virtual assistant, becoming a virtual assistant, and then landing my first client as well. Someone was like, oh my gosh, Saba, again, I know somebody who needs what you do. And I'm like, what do I do? And they're like, you're just like that type A girl, you know? And then I get on the call with this person and they're like, yeah, I need this person, you know? And I'm like, okay, yeah. They send me an short application. And because I remember I was like, I'm so confident. So I filled out this application and it was like, I was not a good fit at all. But I filled it out like thoroughly. And I was just like, this is going to be amazing. Knowing as well that like the answers don't match what they're asking for at all. Like I was just like, she needs to like me. Yeah. I get an email back and she's like, absolutely not. But she's like, not for this role. Okay. But we're looking to hire a virtual assistant. Do you know what that is? And I was like, kinda. I've kind of done, I'm in a program, you know, and she's like, you have enough. Come on. Wow. She was my first client in New Zealand. Oh, wow. Never met her before, but worked for her for like 3.5 years. Yeah. So that's how I started and actually landed my first client. And that was in 30 days. So I landed my first client in 30 days. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even know you came from a background of being a server. That's awesome.
Really?
Yeah, because I did too.
Yeah. That was my first and last job. I've never had any other job. I did it for 10 years. And it was great. But I was just like, even my coworkers, they know me and they still follow me. And they're like, I remember on my lunch break is when I had that first client. I was actually, this client I got actually when I still had my job, because I was like, oh, I don't have time. Well, I started working on my lunch break. I would have something to do for my client for an hour or two, and I would bring my laptop and I would do it on my coworkers, they would actually watch my tables for me. They loved that I was blogging anyways, and they knew about that. So as I would be working and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to just go answer my client. And they're like, yeah, I got your section. Go, we got you. And I'd be in the hallway or at lunch or whatever. And they're like, yeah. They would stall the manager. They're like, come in the office. No, come sit right here. Come take this, client call or whatever. And I really had a community of like support that were like, we know you're going to do this. Yeah.
So going from that, when did you feel like, okay, I need to take it a step further? Like,
so I obviously landed one client and then another and another and another. And then I was like, wow, I'm actually good at this. Let me sit in this. And I sat in it. And then the next year I was like, so many people were asking me, how did you do that? How did you, like, especially people who were like, I watched you do this from scratch. I know. Because I had the same Instagram. So they could remember when I was getting ready for work and tying my apron on. They were like, how did you do that? And so I'm like, how could I share how I did that? Like, and I felt like I want to say I started mastering certain parts of it. And I was like, I could teach this, but I need support. So I hired a business coach. And I started working with the business coach on how I could package my knowledge on how I did that, how I became a virtual assistant into the program that I have right now. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And that was where that program, we launched it, and it was the first time I ever made $50,000 in 2 weeks. And I went off to do that like so many other times as well. And we've served over 400 women have started their virtual assistant business through the program, and have worked with me personally all over the world because of that program. So that was the next level for me. And then it was like, I took that and we've perfected that, and that has gotten so amazing, and it's still, launching and people are joining and starting their business. But I was like, I've managed all of this, and now I feel like I am a great project manager. So I decided to hone in on those operation skills and what I know about planning and being strategic, because I had to use those skills all the way through, and managing my own team and hiring people, whatever. And that brought me to starting an agency where I could offer my brain as a strategic partner, as a business manager, as a right hand, as your operation manager in your business. Yeah. And so now I have clients who launch their own program just like mine, or they have a team and I manage their team on a day-to-day. Yeah. So like right now you could say that I manage 8 different businesses on a day-to-day.
Wow.
Outside of my program.
And you said this program, you launched it 2.5 years ago.
No, in 2020.
No, the
2021. My agency?
Yes.
2.5 years ago, yeah.
Yes. And then, but the VA in 2020, 6 years
2021,
ago. Okay. So how was like your first year, like first time like pushing that out? Like, did you have success right away?
You know, I really thought that I was like, nobody's going to buy it. No, and it wasn't even about the money. I was just like, how could they trust me? I'm my only success at the time. But I was like, I trust myself and I trust the results and they're real. I know what I did and I can prove it, you know? So I was like, I'm going to put it out. I'm going to put my knowledge together and put it out. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And I did. And 28 women joined.
First time you launched?
First time.
Okay.
And I was like, I was like, no way. No. And it broke me down because I was like, these women trust me. I'm going to show them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And were these women that knew you, that were friends of friends, or like?
A lot of them did not know me.
Okay.
They just met me online or they followed me some way and decided to like follow my journey, and they're like, I want to learn from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So 28 the first time, and then you launched it again, what, a year later?
No, I launched it again maybe like the next quarter.
Okay.
I typically launch it every quarter, or I've skipped a few quarters throughout the years, but yeah, typically quarterly. Yeah.
And that just kept growing and growing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a great group for sure, the program. And it teaches me a lot as well. It's not even just, you know, me teaching, but I learn a lot from them. I get to, you know, talk to different women all the time. I get to show them where they are overthinking it, you know, or show them where it's possible, where they think it's impossible, and also show them where like you are skillful, you are valuable, and I'm going to have you write it out and we're going to come up with a business. It's going to give you joy. It's not going to burn you out. And like to do that day after day after, because I remember them coming in and they're like, you know, they're a little hopeful, and then it's like 30 days go by, 45 days go by, typically is when they land their first client anyways. And that first yes is like, you're right, I can do that. Yeah. And I always know they can. They come in and I'm like, I know you can. And you'll see it soon. Yeah.
So something else really special happened during this season. When you moved here, you weren't a fiance already.
No.
What made him follow you here?
He said that he was certain, you know, before we had even started dating, to be honest, first day, he said, I'm going to marry you. And I was like, you know what? Like, we weren't even dating. It was just like, and he was like, I'm going to marry you.
How did you guys meet?
I met through his sister. Yeah. And I actually known him for like 10 years.
Okay.
It was just a few years ago where that like grew over time while we were in, like COVID, basically long distance anyways. And he really encouraged me to like, you're a smart girl, like you can figure it out. And yeah, that's how, and he knew how passionate I was about moving and how passionate I was about the business that I had just started. And I could not give it away by moving to Atlanta. And I just felt like Atlanta was not where I was being called to. So I felt like it wouldn't have been a good idea. So I'm like, even if I have to leave, but let's go, I'm going to Dallas. And yeah, and he was like, yeah, he left his job, had to get a whole new job to come to Dallas, and he did 6 months later. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you know, you know.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's funny.
Do you think you had to become who you are now before stepping into this engagement season?
Wow. Yeah, something that we talked about the other day was we now know different versions of each other.
Yeah.
And instead of like, oh my gosh, you've changed so much, it's more of like, oh my gosh, look at God. Yeah. You know, like look at the grace of God and how you can see the evolution of yourself. You can see how you are a different person when you were a girlfriend, or like when you were dating and then your girlfriend and then your fiance, and same for him. And how great it is to grow with the same person. Yeah.
Do you think choosing growth changed the type of partner you attract?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm like, it absolutely does, because it's not for everyone. And I am so grateful that I am with someone who's very understanding, who is supportive as well. And even just like the other day I was in a call and I was like in meetings all day or whatnot, and like we have this language that we don't even have to speak, and like I'll be in like my second to last call, and he would have already ordered food or made food or whatever, and he is like serving it to me, you know, at my desk. He's like, and he's like doing sign language over here. I'm like, should I bring it in front of me? And then he's like, drinks, and then, or he'll like blend the smoothie in the room so that you know it doesn't interrupt the call, and then he'll bring me a smoothie. And we have this like language now, and I'm grateful that he is someone that I can be with that doesn't affect in that way. He was like, wow, you are like inspiring. He's like, I can't, it's not even just like, oh my gosh, you're my fiance, but he's like, sometimes I don't know if you realize what you've done and how inspiring that actually is to other people. And I like having that type of partner is like, wow, you do see what I do, you know, and all the hard work.
I mean, because you just have that energy, that impact. I mean, I'm telling you, just me meeting you that one day, I was just like, wow. And me sitting here again, I'm just like,
wow.
I needed this. Like, I feel it's so inspired. So how did the engagement happen? Did you see it coming?
So I knew that he was going to propose at some time because a few months before he told me, because I was like, whenever you're ready, my hair needs to be done. My nails need to be done. Like, don't redo it. I'm like, redo it. You're gonna have to redo it if my hair is not done, or we're gonna have to take these pictures another time, whatever. And so he was like, okay, just so you know, I'm gonna be proposing. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, it could be this month, it could be next month, it could be and I was like, okay. And then 4 months later, he did propose, and it was perfect timing because I actually had a brand shoot for my business the morning of, so my makeup was done, my hair was done, and my friend that was with me, she was like supporting me in the shoot or whatnot, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have to like run because I have a friend that's getting engaged this afternoon, and I need to be there to like take photos for him so that you know when the engagement happens. And I'm like, oh my gosh, of course, please leave the shoot, like please tell me how it goes, how amazing. The friend was me. The friend was me, and I was like, what? So but he and I typically have date night, and so we were going out to date night, and we're walking up to the space that looks like a restaurant, but it's not. It's like the warehouse type of vibe. And I walk in and I see my friend, and I'm like, you said you were going to an engagement. You're at an engagement. Yeah, and it was so sweet. The room was like amazing, and he was like so proud of himself. Yeah, he was very excited.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'll show you pictures. I have some on my phone. Yes. We literally just got the video today.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I did see a little bit on your story. Yes. What did moving here teach you about yourself?
It taught me that I can do hard things, and I can apply the skills from that hard time to now at any moment. I'll give you an example. I obviously travel quite a bit, and I planned this amazing trip to Japan last year with a friend of mine, and like all this planning, bought the ticket, paid for everything, and the night before I was like full-blown tears, like I am terrified to go to Japan out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I just could not see myself flying that far away from my family. And it was just like, oh my gosh, girl, you have 7 passports. What is going on with you? And in that moment, I packed my bags. I got to the Dallas airport. I even flew to my connecting airport in Canada. And I'm like, full blown tears. I call my parents, and I'm like, my parents are like, you can't get on that flight if you're like this. Like, what's going on? Like, why are you like this? And I get to Canada, and that's the one. I need to take that 15-hour flight, or I'm gonna lose my money, basically. And my friend is already on her way to Japan to meet me. And in that moment, I was like, call my mom, and she's like, what are you feeling? Like, if you're scared, don't get on that flight. Like, if you feel like you're not safe, don't go. But if you're just like scared, pick something now. And they were calling, they were boarding. And I'm like, I'm gonna purposely miss the flight because I'm too scared. I don't want to go out of nowhere. And in that moment, I like walked around a loop, and I was like, this is not that type of scared. You're not like fearing of your safety. You're just a little far further away from home. That's what it is. You're getting on the flight. And I grabbed and I was like, this is not that hard, sweetheart. You left everything. You knew one person. That was hard. That was so hard. Some people can never muster up the strength to do that. Getting on a flight to go to Japan, and Japan is gonna slap. Japan is gonna be amazing. Come on. And I'm like, tears, literally. Snot probably, because I was like bad. My eyes were puffy, and the flight attendant, she was like, and I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I scanned my boarding pass. Oh my gosh. And the vlog started. As soon as I got on the flight and I saw this, I was like, I need to be here. Your eyes will go down. You can do hard things. And so being here really taught me that, like, you did that, you can apply that to that, and you can apply. And every time I feel like something is hard, I think back to my heart, and I'm like, what skills do I need to apply from that to this so that I can do the thing? Do the thing.
I love that you're saying that, because it just reminds me that literally was my caption the other day. I ran my first 10K on Valentine's Day. And I'm not a runner. 2 months ago, you told me I was going to run a 10K. I would have been like, you're crazy.
Wow, 2 months ago.
I just started running last month, January. And ran my first 10K on Saturday. But literally my caption was like, this was just a deposit into my account of proof that I can do hard things. I feel like it starts with that, just like little things. Like a 10K. Like, that doesn't compare to, like, and maybe later I want to move across the country too, right? It's not on the same level, but it's showing me that you have all these deposits that you can look back on. Like you said, you were afraid, but you looked back on the time that you did something hard, and you got through that.
And it works for me every time. And it's not something that's like, woo. It's like you are really just like, who were you in that moment? Like, what belief did you have in that moment? You believed that God could do it. Well, can you believe that God can do it now? Again?
Right.
Or will you? Are you? Right? So I think it's such a great skill to have to do that.
What would the old version of you say about your life today?
The old version of me would say, I knew you could do it. And the reason why is because although I was a bit shy going through school until I got to about high school and then beyond, I think when I was in kindergarten, I was voted like most likely to be president or something. And then went on to like get so many different other awards. And so like I was already the golden child in that way. And I believed, I didn't push away from like being smart and things like that. Like I was like, I don't know what it's gonna look like, but this girl, she's gonna have a beautiful life. I don't know what that is, but like God's gonna give me that over time, and he did.
It all really just starts with your mindset and just really believing that.
Your belief, and believing what God has for you. I know what the Lord has for me. I know it couldn't just be Tampa, Florida. I knew that it couldn't just be being a server for 10 years or plus. I knew there had to be more, because the Lord says there's more for me. And I think when you build your belief around that, you don't stop searching for more of what the Lord has for you. You allow him to develop you in that way.
So how has walking in obedience been for you? Like, has it ever been a struggle, or has it always been like...
It's uncomfortable.
Okay.
A lot of times. especially like, for example, I had a situation where I was like, right. And I wanted to be, this person was like publicly wrong. Mm-hmm. And I was right. I had the receipts. I had it all. Mm-hmm. And the Lord told me, mm-mm. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the verse is Exodus 14:14. Mm-hmm. And it says the Lord will fight for you, but you must be quiet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I because I was already this girl who's like started this business does these things, does hard things, can speak up for herself. Mm-hmm. I to be quiet is when I have the mm-hmm. truth, I'm just like, this is so uncomfortable for me. Yeah, I was able to be quiet. Mm-hmm. And I still won the battle. Mm, there you go. Yeah. The Lord fought my battle for mm-hmm. me because I kept quiet. Yes. And the part that isn't crazy at all is that I've never had like God speak to someone else for me mm-hmm. ever. And God literally told someone who knew nothing about my situation at all. Mm-hmm. On the day, there was a day where it was like mustering up where I was like, I need to prove that I'm right. Mm-hmm. Even though God told me no. Yeah. And I'm like, this, like why? Like, I'm like, come on. Like, I need to prove, I need to, you know. And so she texts me or mm-hmm. messages me online, finds me online. I knew her, but like not enough to be like, I dreamt of this. Yeah. Yeah. And she was like, I don't know. You were in my dream mm-hmm. last night. And she was like, I don't really know, but like there was like something in front of me sitting down, and she was like, I leaned over your shoulder and I was reading, and she was like, God told me to tell you to, like, whatever you are about to speak on, mm-hmm. you need to be quiet.
Wow.
Exactly, word for word. And I was like, what? Mm-hmm. And I was like, no. Mm-hmm. 2 times is enough. Once was enough, but 2 times was enough. And although it was hard, God knew that he was gonna fight my battles because the truth came out anyways, and I was absolutely right. And I didn't even have to pull receipts. I didn't have to do any of that. I didn't have to ruin my reputation on being the one who retaliates, even when you're right. The Lord will handle it for you. Yeah. So being obedient is not always comfortable, but I've learned where being obedient and like what you get in return and how you grow, you realize that like God can be trusted. Mm-hmm. Like what am I tripping about? Right. God can be trusted. And he proved that to me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes he needs to speak to us through other people because we just don't want to listen. What would you say to a woman who feels stuck but is scared to leap?
You don't have to leap too big. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I think our goals are unattainable from the start. And we just put so much pressure on ourselves to like be and look and do a certain thing, but it can start small. So for example, before I started my business and becoming a virtual assistant, I was like, I'm a travel girly and I really want to start making passport holders on Etsy or get them made from an Etsy seller, and like I'm gonna sell them to my friends. Yeah, that was my first business, just by having an idea. And that kind of put the battery in my back without even knowing at the time. And then I went on to become a travel blogger, and I started blogging, and I monetized my blog and started getting a few dollars here and there. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, then I could do the virtual, you know. And so it's the leap doesn't always have to be so big, so that you can know what it's like to experience a win, know what it's like to experience completing something, because that's what builds your confidence over time. You're stuck because you're not doing anything as well, but you're also stuck because like you are looking at the bigger picture versus like what could make you believe that this is working now. What's one small thing that you can do to make it work now? Yeah.
And that just made me think of like, those were just stepping stones for you as well. Like they were teaching you something. Yeah. Just you saying yes to the first thing and then the next one. Yeah. They all led to where you are now. So it's like a lot of us are trying to think of the end goal when you just got to do the one thing, because that
like I didn't know I was going to be an agency owner. I could have never known. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, of course. It's very on brand. It fits. Right. But I needed to start as a virtual assistant to even know that I could be a freelancer and then go from a freelancer to a full-time entrepreneur, or full-time freelancer. And then I went from full-time freelancer to being an employee of my business. Like there's just so many levels to it. Yeah. And I could never experience that if I did not start.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that is such a full circle moment for me is that my friend who, you know, asked me to start the business or do, you know, become a virtual assistant, she later on became one of my students inside of my program. And she went on to also start her virtual assistant business and had such great success because of it. And I always say, like, the Lord sent her into my life exactly a year before to my job that I was going to get fired, that I was going to get laid off from. Anyways, both of us met. And the first day we met, she was like, you walked into the orientation room. I had already worked there. She was coming in new, and she was like, I need to know that girl. And we just became friends and friends and friends. And I was like, man, I believe that the Lord put you in my life so that I could trust you. Because he knew in a year, he was like, I got something coming for you. And I need it to be her. I need you to trust her because she's going to tell you to do this thing. And if you don't trust her, you're going to be like, whatever. It was all lined up perfectly.
God is so intentional in everything he does.
I love it. It's literally the best thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because just in her being obedient to him, coming to you, she didn't know that she was one day going to benefit from this as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, she went off to land a client in Tampa, Florida, fully remote. And she still had a full-time job. She got another full-time job at the time. And that client was a $40,000 client working fully remote a few hours a week. And she was like, I never knew that was possible. And I'm like, it is. It is. Yeah.
Wow.
It's also very like, it's really hard to go from making, you know, like $30,000 a year as a server to making $30,000 a month. In my business. And it's when you come from a family where like just average people, you know, like we're just average people. I'm Haitian American, and so my parents are immigrants, and like that you just know how the life is, and to just be the first to do that is very like it's kind of emotional because you're like, I bring hope to my family. I make my family proud. Yeah. And it's just something, it also comes with a lot of challenges because you have to unlearn the things that you knew about money and how like, you know, you're like afraid of it and you think it's not going to come back. But once you start making money and you learn how to make money, you realize money is a tool. And money doesn't have to be the thing that governs me. It doesn't have to be the thing that is like, I think about all the time. It's just a part of what you're doing. It's how the Lord is repaying you for the way that you're using your skills. Yeah, and like it's not as hard to make when you learn how to make it. Yeah, because when I was a server, I'm like, oh my gosh, like how do people do that? And now I'm like, oh, I could start another business tomorrow. Yeah, I could start a whole nother business tomorrow, and I know I would put my all into it to get it successful because I'm like, oh, it's not that hard. You're just taking an idea and bringing it to life. That's it. Just like these cups. Someone decided that we would need to-go cups for our chai latte, and it was someone's idea, brought it together. Just like the iPad, someone's idea. Yeah, it's just it's the same, and it's so once you adopt that, you're like, oh, that's not too bad. Yeah.
So it sounds like you've always had this confidence and knew that you were gonna be someone. Right?
Someone, yeah.
Where does that come from? Like, did your parents just pour so much into you? What was it?
Yeah, like my parents are amazing, and they are very strong and very courageous people as well. Both of my parents migrated here as well, and my dad even just experienced a very traumatic migration here years ago when he was about 30 something years ago. He came on a small boat and swam for hours after his boat like capsized with some friends. They were able to get off, and thankfully they were swimmers and they swam for like 8 hours.
Wow.
And came in as illegal immigrants. And were able to work up in life and actually apply what they knew. They got asylum. And then they went off to become U.S. citizens. But like just my dad, when he tells that story of like he left Haiti and he didn't tell anyone but his dad because he was like, if I don't make it, I don't want so many people to know that I left. But he was like, it was life or death, so I'm gonna make it to the U.S. And he did. And yeah, he swam for hours. It was 3 friends. I also learned you know, a lot about friendship from my dad as well, because I believe it was 3 friends together swimming for hours, and with I believe they had like a gallon for like a floating device, each of them. And his friend, one of the friends starts to get tired as they're swimming, and he's like, I can't go anymore. And they were like, you're coming. We're either, and they could see land. Yeah. My dad was like, there's no, and they called, in Haiti, they call the U.S. or like the shore of Miami or whatnot, they call it the promised land, because it's such a place that you hope to go, you know, to live a different life. And so they could see the promised land, and he was like, absolutely not. We will go. And so they carried their friend in the middle for a few more hours, because they were like, we're going to make it. He said he was bit up by fish all throughout the water, and he was like, we are going to make it. And they did. And they all live throughout the States now, and they're all U.S. citizens, and they're all like living this life of gratitude. And I learned that from my dad, of like discipline and trying, and like the importance of community and carrying your friends. Sometimes you have to be the one that's the courageous one for the group. And my mom is just like amazing. My mom she didn't really get to go to school. She started working at 6, and I just feel just very proud. I was like, I am gonna become the woman that I know my mom wanted to be. And and so even when I travel, I feel so proud to travel. And as soon as I open, you know, that blue passport, sometimes people are like, you know, but how do you feel like going to Japan as a Haitian girl? Like, there's not that many people there, you know, like you or whatnot. And I'm like, no. This Haitian girl can go anywhere in the world, because everywhere could welcome me as long as it's safe. But I'm like, I feel so proud that I'm carrying my family. My family went to Japan. Even though it was just me, I went. I carried the memories back and telling them. I heard my mom on the phone actually when I was in Japan. She was telling I sent her some medicine through DoorDash. And she was like, are you from Japan? To the DoorDash man. And she doesn't understand like what that is. And I was like, no, like I'm still in Japan. He's not in Japan with me. And she's like, my daughter sent that from Japan. And I was like, yeah. I said, yeah. You know, so just all of that is so amazing to give them that experience. But because I was brave, because I learned how to want a better life because of them. Yeah. And they're very proud. I send my dad, you know, pictures, and like, I buy him shirts every time I go somewhere, so that he has a country or city that I've been. He has a collection now of those.
I love that. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Is there any like books or anything that have inspired you, shaped who you are today?
But I mean, I read a lot. Okay. So I am a little biased, but one thing that I can say in terms of books would be, man, I would say the more and more I read the Bible. Okay. The more and more I read the Bible, the more I realize how much of a guide it is. Yeah. And how much God thought and inspired to allow to make up the Bible, and now we have it as a guide. Yeah. And so they're truly, and like you hear people say like there's no better book than the Bible. Man, there's no better book than the Bible. It's like it's every time you go in there, you're just like, were you here with me? Like, how do you know that? How do you know that? How do I have the solution to the thing? The other day I was thinking, I was like, man, I gotta let people pleasing go. I have to let it go. And then I don't know what I was doing. And here comes this verse. It just slides across my desk. I believe it's Galatians 1:10. Okay. And it says, if you are trying to please people, then you cannot be a servant of Christ.
Whoa.
And I was like, and why did that stand out to me was because I was like, the Bible even talks about people pleasing. And here I am like, I just don't know how to stop. And it's like the Bible even has the answer to that. Something very mundane is like just being a yes girl. There's nothing negative about it in that way. It's like I'm not doing anything wrong. It's more so like you are overextending yourself sometimes. Mm-hmm. And is that what the Lord wanted you to do anyway? You know, so it's like that verse was like, Lord, do you talk about hair in here? Like, what should my next hairstyle be? You know, it's just such a, as you get older and you really dive in it, you realize that like, wow, what a book. And if you are searching for an answer from the Lord, it's in there.
It's always going to be there.
Yeah, it's in there.
I literally just had a conversation about people pleasing yesterday.
Yeah.
So just the fact that you're talking about
Galatians 1:10. I'm telling you. I literally have the sticky note. I have the sticky note on my desk because I'm like, ooh, Lord, yes.
That was literally my conversation last night. Any last things do you feel like you want to say before we end it?
I would say trust the Lord. Yeah. And you know, God can be trusted with the beginning of the idea all the way to the end, you know, of the fruition of the idea that's like simmering on your heart. And understand that like, you know, doing anything new is going to be very challenging and scary, but knowing that you're actually not the first to do it. Yeah. You can look around you. Everything that we have, everything that we do, someone decided that like I'm gonna be the brave one and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that. And the Lord gave them the skills to do that, right? And I want you to be encouraged that, you know, even though it can be difficult, you know, starting something new or whatnot, or managing something, or, you know, moving across the country, right? Yeah. But understanding that it's all going to line up because the Lord already told us that. Because he knows the plans that he has for you. And if you can trust God, it'll be a better path for sure. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the women listening who are thinking, I want that kind of freedom, I want to work remotely, I want to build something of my own, what's their first step?
Their first step is to identify how you want to do that, with what skills. Like, what do you bring to the table? What do people know you as? What do people say you're so amazing at? You know, what do you already do? Decide what are your talents, what are your gifts, what's your passion, and how could you apply that to someone else's life? How could what you like to do be a solution to someone else's life or business? Starting there is exactly where you'll be able to bloom into deciding what the business idea model needs to look like. Yeah.
Who would you say this is for?
The program or like working remote?
The program.
Yeah. So becoming a virtual assistant is for the type A girl, you know, the one who is creative on the side, who is also the executive assistant at work, the one that can manage the projects. It's also for women who are, you know, easy, you know, they're great at juggling several things, right? And you're someone who's interested in creating something that's fulfilling, something that's your own on the side, and you're also excited to work on your actual skills that you bring to the table. Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone is interested in learning more, how can they connect with you?
So you can find me at hersupportsystem.com or on Instagram as hersupportsystem_. And you can email me at support@theindomandva.com. That's where I am on the corner of the internet. And I would love to chat with you. You can always shoot me an email, DM me or whatnot, because I'm an open book like that. Yeah.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. I hope you guys feel inspired because I'm definitely inspired.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your next step? Anything exciting in the works that you want to share? Wow, so I've been managing a directory, which is where we connect small business owners with virtual assistants that have learned from me or that are amazing in their skill. And so if you're a small business owner and you are looking to hire a virtual assistant, I have a completely free service for you online where you submit what you need and I will connect you with your first team member, completely remote,
for free, and we've had people they've been able to hire in a week, and it just collapsed the time of like having to vet people, because these are qualified candidates for managing your content, anything marketing, admin, or operations. You need a customer service assistant to support you in your candle business. It doesn't matter. That I have that directory, and we are going to be bringing it forth on an app. So where you can actually just request to be matched, and we will match you with an assistant. And same the other way around. We have our members who are assistants that are qualified assistants. We can match them with clients that are looking for them to join their team. And I've been doing that in a different format, but bringing it out to the app is what is coming soon.
How soon do you see that coming?
I would say by the end of summer.
Okay, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I know of people that will probably be interested in this,
Yeah.
so that's exciting.
Yeah. It's free both ways for now, so like it would be a great thing to join. Yeah. We send out jobs every single Friday now, and we've had for the past 4 years, and it's been over 700 jobs. Yeah, so I'm very excited.
That's awesome. If people are interested in this, how does that work? Like, are they hiring them, and it's like a 1099?
Yeah, 1099. Okay. So there's no really you all would set the hours together.
Okay.
You decide what day you would work with them virtually, what day you maybe have a meeting once a month. You would send a contract. I provide a contract in my program, but like you can get an independent contract online, and write your scope out so that there's something in writing on what you're doing with this person. But it can be that simple. Yeah.
And you have the freedom to choose the hours.
Yep.
And then
the hours, you got the freedom to choose what you're doing as well. You also have the freedom to, like I said, work on certain days. So like if you're a person who does everything in one day, or you prefer to stagger it out throughout the week. And that's exactly how you do it.
It's so good to know, because maybe even I'm interested.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You definitely can join the directory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there a minimum? Like I need to hire this person for these many hours. Okay.
You set the role.
Okay.
So you can start like, I'm not really sure, so can we go like week by week, where you just do these things and then tell me how many hours it was, or how much is it. But you decide on a rate first, and then like every single week. Or you're like, I want to set rate of like $500 a month, $300 a month. That's it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Like for example, with like the podcast, if you wanted like someone to edit it for you or whatnot, you could get a VA who would edit it for like $150 or whatever, and then like they would do it for you from where they are.
That's awesome, because that's literally it. That's my struggle. I have so much content that's just sitting in my phone,
really,
because I don't have time to edit it.
No.
And one of my friends, we were just having this conversation too. He's a photographer, and he wants a team to do his edits, because he's just so booked up right now that he needs the extra help. So I'm definitely going to tell him about this too.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again. I'm excited for what's to come.
Yes, thank you.